Baha'u'llah revealed many new teachings that are relevant and required for the development of society today, and also for the spiritual development of individuals. I encourage you to read and study the writings of Baha'u'llah. One of these new teachings is the explanation of the cycle of transferring of the atoms through the various kingdoms in the world, and also some more explanations of our souls, which Abdu'l-Baha beautifully explained. He said, fundamentally, all existing things pass through the same degree and phases of development. The cellular elements or atoms that enter the combination of human organism were one time part of the mineral kingdoms, whilst in that kingdoms it went through myriads of changes in the evolution of that kingdom, that these atoms eventually become part of the nutrients of the soil. And the roots of the trees and plants absorb these nutrients to its kingdoms, and these atoms are now transferred to the vegetable kingdom. And the animal consume the fruits of these trees and plants, and these atoms are now transferred to the animal kingdoms. And we humans consume the meat of the animals as well as the fruits of these trees and plants, and these atoms are now transferred to the human kingdoms. And when we die, our physical body begins the process of decomposition, and these atoms are now transferred from the human kingdom back to the mineral kingdoms. This cycle of transferring of the atoms is continuously in a perfect regularity and in a perfect order. It's clear from these explanations that fundamentally all existing things pass through the same degree and phases of development. But all of these kingdoms, according to Abdu'l-Baha, except man, are under the influence and controls of nature. None can escape the rules of nature. The colossal sun cannot deviate a hair's breadth from the rules of nature. The bulky elephant, with its mighty power and strength, cannot escape the controls of nature. But the diminutive being, through the power of his mind, an inherent property of his soul, a divine reality that man possesses that distinguishes him from the animals, enables him to break the rules of nature and even use nature to his advantage. For instance, according to the rule of nature, man's body is heavy and supposed to stay on the surface of the earth. Man break that rule of nature and imitate the bird and soar the skies in aeroplanes. According to the rules of nature, man cannot stay underwater for a long period of time. He won't be able to breathe and he will die. Man break that rule of nature and invented submarines and sound the depths of the ocean. One of the great power of nature is the power of electricity. This violent force was kept in a secret chamber of nature, and according to nature it should stay there forever. Man, through the inventive power of his mind, an inherent property of his soul, a divine reality that man possesses that distinguishes him from the animals, enables him to break through this secret chamber of nature and brought this violent force from the invisible plane to the visible plane and imprison it in glass globe and fluorescent tubes. It's clear from this explanation that man possesses a divine reality that distinguishes him from the animals and enables him to break the rules of nature and even use nature to his advantage. What is this divine reality? It is the human spirit, which the scientific philosophers call it the rational soul, and Abdu'l-Baha designates human spirit and rational soul as meant the same thing. What is the human spirit or rational soul? According to Abdu'l-Baha, it is a one indivisible substance. The scientific philosophers demonstrate it as a simple element. Simple here meaning not composed. It's not a composition of elements. Our body is a composition of elements, and it's necessary for it to decompose. Our spirit or soul is not a composition of elements. It's not necessary for it to decompose. Therefore, it lives on after the decomposition of the physical body. But our souls, according to Abdu'l-Baha, has two aspects. One is divine or angelic. The other is satanic. If we allowed love, kindness, justice, trustworthy characters, and all the virtues into our lives, will become divine or angelic. But if we allowed injustice, hatred, untrustworthy characters, and all the vices into our lives, will become satanic. According to Abdu'l-Baha, we are under the influence of two forces, the thought force and the animal force, and they are partners. Each one is trying to pull or drag our souls to be under its control. And out of all the virtues of God, none we are subjected to its power. According to Abdu'l-Baha, we are subjected to the power of the lust. I use myself here to demonstrate the point. If we are subjected to the power of the lust, and I watch pornography, I'm not doing my thought force a favor. In fact, I'm helping my animal force to take control and consequently conquer the divine or angelic aspect of my soul, and I become a Satan. When I reach that stage of Satan, all my thoughts will be evil. Every woman I see on the street will be tempered with and interfered with my imagination, and vice versa. There is only one way for humanity to heighten their spirituality and reach the divine or angelic aspects of their souls, and that is through the creative power of the words and teachings of the manifestations of God, and today the words and teachings of His Holiness Baha'u'llah. This is one reason why we encourage you to read the writings and teachings of Baha'u'llah. It speaks directly to the soul, to your soul, and it has the power and potency to influence your soul. Though you may not know it, though you may not at first realized it. And this was witnessed by Queen Marie of Romania. At the time of his search after the truth, she wrote in a newspaper, I paraphrase, "A woman brought me a book. I spelled it in capital letters because It is a glorious book of love and goodness, of strength and beauty. I commend it to you all. If ever the name of Baha'u'llah and Abdu'l-Baha comes to your attention, do not put their writings from you. Search out their books and let their pre-springing, love-creating words and lessons sink into your hearts as they have into mine. One's busy life is too full for religion, and one's religion may satisfy it, but the teaching of these wise, kind gentlemen are compatible with all religions and of no religions. Seek them and be the happier. Thank you, and I wish you well. Whaftailava, manuela whafongfong mai Samoa, soifua.